Hello, my name is Jenna Harper, and I'm 27 years old. I never thought the people I considered family could betray me like this, but here I am. My stepmom, Linda, has always treated me like an outsider, but I didn't expect today to be the day she'd push me completely out of the family. We're all gathered in my grandfather's mansion in New York City. The room smells of expensive perfume and fresh flowers, but it is nothing to cover the bitterness I feel. Family members sit around the grand dining table, pretending to be happy, but I know why they're really here, for my grandfather's inheritance. I sit quietly in my chair, keeping my emotions under control. My fingers grip the armrest tightly as I stare at Linda, who's standing in front of the room. Her bright red dress is as flashy as her fake smile. Ava, her 25-year-old daughter, stands next to her, playing innocent as usual. Linda taps her champagne glass with a fork, making the room fall silent. She beams with pride and says, "I'm pleased to announce that my daughter, Ava, will be receiving the full inheritance from my late father-in-law." My heart drops, but I don't let it show on my face. I should have expected this. For years, they've worked to push me aside. But they don't know that I found the truth that will turn their world upside down. I take a slow breath and glance around the room. Everyone looks shocked but remains silent, not wanting to challenge Linda. My stepmom believes she's already won. She's wrong, because I have proof of something they never wanted anyone to find out. And when I reveal it, this picture-perfect moment will be over. I sit there, my hands resting on my lap as I glance at Ava, who's acting like she just won the lottery. She tucks her perfectly styled brown hair behind her ear and pretends to look surprised by the announcement. I know better. Ava's been planning this with her mom for years. The room remains quiet, except for the sound of glasses clinking as a few people toast to Ava's good fortune. My uncle, David, awkwardly shifts in his chair, but even he doesn't dare speak. I get it. No one wants to cross Linda. She's the queen of manipulation and fake kindness. But not today. I let the silence drag for a moment longer before I calmly push my chair back and stand. The sound of the wooden chair sliding on the marble floor makes Linda pause mid-sentence. Her eyes meet mine, and I can tell she's uncomfortable. Good. "I'd like to say something," I announce, my voice steady but loud enough for everyone to hear. Ava smirks, as if she's expecting me to beg or throw a tantrum. I give her a small smile back. She has no idea what's coming. Linda clears her throat and tries to keep control of the situation. "Jenna, this isn't the time for—" "No, it's the perfect time," I interrupt, keeping my gaze locked on her. "Since we're discussing my grandfather's inheritance, I think it's only fair we all hear the full story." A few people exchange curious glances, and the tension in the room thickens. I reach into my purse and pull out a manila folder. Inside are copies of the documents I found hidden in my grandfather's office just last week. I had spent hours going through his old files, and what I found was shocking. I hold up the folder and meet Linda's gaze. "You see, this inheritance isn't yours to give away, Linda. In fact, it was never meant for Ava." Her smile falters, and Ava shifts nervously beside her. "What are you talking about?" Ava snaps, her voice higher than usual. I flip open the folder and pull out the first page. This is the original will my grandfather signed before he passed. According to this, the majority of the estate, including this mansion and all financial assets, was meant to go to me. Gasps fill the room, and Ava's face turns pale. Linda, on the other hand, tries to keep her composure. "That can't be true," Linda says, but her voice wavers. "That will was updated, Jenna. You must have found an old copy." I smirk. "I thought you might say that, so I checked. The signature on this will was verified by a lawyer. There was never a legal update to change it. My grandfather never wanted you or Ava to have everything." Linda takes a step forward, her eyes narrowing. "This is ridiculous. You're making a scene in front of the entire family." I shrug. "Maybe, but the truth deserves to be heard." Before Linda can respond, I pull out the second document, a letter from my grandfather, written a few months before his death. I read it aloud, my voice filling the room. "Jenna, if you're reading this, It means they try to take what's rightfully yours. I trusted you to find this letter and protect our family legacy. Linda doesn't know it, but I always kept a backup plan. Don't let them win. Love, Grandpa. Silence. Pure, deafening silence. Ava's hands shake as she clutches her dress, and Linda looks like she's about to explode. Linda's mask of control finally cracks. She steps forward, her voice full of rage. You think this changes anything? I've been running this family for years, and I'm not about to let you ruin it. I tilt my head. I'm not ruining anything. You did that yourself. I take another document from the folder, a copy of a bank transfer that shows Linda had been secretly moving large sums of money from my grandfather's account into an offshore account. I found this too, I say, holding it up. You've been stealing from him for years. That's why you wanted control of the inheritance, right? To cover up your tracks? Linda's face turns red. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I know exactly what I'm talking about, I reply. And so will the police. I've already sent copies of these documents to my lawyer. By tomorrow morning, they'll be in the hands of the authorities. Panic spreads across Ava's face. Mom, do something, she whispers. Linda tries to grab the folder from my hands, but I step back just in time. Touch me, and that'll be another problem for you, I warn. The room erupts into chaos as family members start whispering, shocked by what they've just learned. Ava bursts into tears, and Linda looks like she's about to faint. I turn toward the door, ready to leave. But before I go, I glance back and say, enjoy the rest of your night, Linda. It might be your last party for a while. As I walk out, my phone buzzes with a text from my lawyer. The case is moving forward. We've frozen their assets. I smile to myself. This is only the beginning. I step outside the mansion, the cool evening air brushing against my face. My heart is racing, but this time, it's from adrenaline. The sound of murmuring voices and shuffling footsteps echoes behind me. I can imagine what's happening. Linda, Ava, and the rest of the family scrambling to figure out how to fix the mess they've created. I unlock my car, slide into the driver's seat, and exhale. My phone buzzes again, and this time, it's a call from my lawyer, Mark. Did you get out okay? Mark asks, his voice calm but firm, like always. Yeah, I say, gripping the steering wheel. Linda and Ava didn't take it well, but I didn't expect them to. What's next? We've filed a case to contest the inheritance, and the court has approved a temporary hold on the estate. They won't be able to access the funds or sell any property until the hearing. I smile. Good. That'll buy us time. But there's more, Mark says, and his tone shifts. I had our investigator look into Ava's bank records. It turns out she's been using some of the stolen money to fund a luxury lifestyle, expensive vacations, designer clothes, and even a down payment on a yacht. I let out a bitter laugh. Of course she has. She always had expensive taste, but now it's at my grandfather's expense. We can use this against them, Mark continues. It strengthens our case. We're going to win, Jenna. Be ready for their next move. They won't go down without a fight. I thank him and hang up, my mind spinning. I know Linda won't sit back and let me take everything. She's probably plotting her next move right now. And I'm ready for her. The next morning, I wake up to a barrage of notifications on my phone. Texts from family members, emails from Mark, and even a few missed calls from unknown numbers. I scroll through the messages and stop when I see Ava's name pop up in one of the texts. Ava, you think you've won, but you have no idea what's coming. You'll regret this. I roll my eyes and toss the phone onto the bed. Let them try. I have the upper hand now. I spend the morning reviewing the case with Mark, making sure every piece of evidence is solid. Afterward, I decide to visit the one place that holds the key to it all, my grandfather's old study. I drive back to the mansion, this time without the chaos of the night before. The house feels empty, but I know Linda and Ava are probably locked away somewhere, panicking. I let myself in using the spare key my grandfather gave me years ago and head straight to the study. The familiar scent of old books and leather fills the room, and for a moment, I feel a pang of sadness. I miss him. He was the only one who truly believed in me. I run my fingers along the shelves, searching for anything I might have missed. Then, behind a row of books, I spot a small metal box. My pulse quickens as I pull it out and open it. Inside, I find a stack of handwritten letters, each one addressed to me. I skim through the first few, my eyes widening as I read my grandfather's words. Jenna, I trusted you because I knew you were strong enough to handle this. But be careful. Linda has secrets even I couldn't uncover. If you find this, it means you've taken the first step. Don't stop now. There's more buried in the company records. I sit down at the desk, clutching the letter. He knew Linda was hiding something bigger. I take a picture of the letter and send it to Mark along with a text. We need to dig into the company's financials. My grandfather suspected Linda was involved in something deeper. Later that night, as I'm preparing for bed, my phone buzzes again. This time, it's a call from an unknown number. I hesitate for a moment before answering. Jenna, Linda's voice comes through, sharp and angry. What do you want? I ask, keeping my tone cold. You've gone too far, she snaps. Do you think this is some kind of game? You're going to destroy this family. I laugh bitterly. You already destroyed it when you stole from my grandfather. There's a pause, and then her voice softens, almost pleading. We don't have to do this. We can come to an agreement. I'll give you a portion of the inheritance if you drop the case. I shake my head, even though she can't see me. I'm not interested in scraps, Linda. I'm taking what was meant for me, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. You'll regret this, she says, her voice filled with venom. I'll make sure of it. Before I can respond, she hangs up. I sit there for a moment, letting her words sink in. I know Linda is desperate, but that only makes her more dangerous. The next day, I get a call from Mark with good news. We found the missing financial records, he says. Linda and Ava were using a shell company to hide stolen funds. It's more than enough to charge them with fraud and embezzlement. I grin. Then let's finish this. We schedule a meeting at the courthouse, where Linda and Ava are forced to face the truth. As the evidence is presented, Linda's confidence crumbles. Ava breaks down in tears, pleading for mercy. But it's too late. The court rules in my favor, awarding me the inheritance and freezing Linda's accounts until the criminal investigation is complete. As I walk out of the courthouse, I take a deep breath. The weight I've been carrying for years finally lifts. I did it. A week later, I'm sitting in my new apartment overlooking the city. I've sold the mansion. It held too many painful memories. With the inheritance, I can finally build the life I've always dreamed of. My phone buzzes with a text from Mark. Linda and Ava were officially charged. They won't be bothering you anymore. I smile and put my phone down. This chapter of my life is over, but I'm ready for whatever comes next. I've learned that strength isn't just about fighting. It's about knowing when to walk away and start fresh. And now, that's exactly what I'm doing.